Welcome back to Polk Nation. Hey, look who else is back from a trip to Houston.
Yeah.
You won't be here for the middle section because of prior commitments here. You got just a busy guy.
A lot going on, my friend.
You're going to be on TV again downstairs. What's going on?
It's a lot going on, but it's a great time. And
Is it?
yeah, I mean, listen.
Because look at you. You're like the busiest guy on the planet.
I'm very busy, but the great thing is that we're back home this week. It's been a long time since.
Will they recognize the place? It's been 6 weeks.
It has been 6 weeks, but a long 6 weeks. But we're back, block party again, and obviously playing Commerce here at home.
And a homecoming you didn't get last year.
Absolutely. So it's a lot going on this week, and then basketball is getting ready to get started. You're talking to Coach Wade here, after this segment, and this
Most anticipated season in the history of McNeese sports.
Absolutely.
It's
100%.
an interesting. It's going to be a tougher season. It's got a better talent. There's more interest. You've got national interest. You've got local interest. Are you going to South Dakota?
I am. Yes, I'm going to be in South Dakota for the.
Wow. So you're not going to be here
Field
for
of
the Children's Day.
I am not. No. But it's all handled. We actually just met on us as a staff about that, and it's all ready to go.
So you're going to South Dakota. The bigger question then is. As we get into that, let's talk about the season in general. A huge couple of games here. You've upgraded your schedule.
Yeah.
You got Santa Clara, you got North Texas.
Yeah.
You've got Division I programs that would never have come here before.
Ever. That's right.
How's season tickets going? How's the interest going?
I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, we have over 1,100 season tickets sold for men's basketball. All of the premium tickets are sold. The suites are sold. We added 12 more courtside seats, and they're all sold. It's going to be an unbelievable environment, and it's going to be a great season. And listen, you said it. It's the most anticipated season in McNeese sports history.
Sports history.
And rightfully so. I mean, I've watched this team practice. They are really, really good. And I know everyone can't do it, but to see Coach Wade and the attention to detail and how much he holds these guys accountable to the smallest details. He's just a phenomenal basketball coach and one of the best communicators I've ever been around.
Yeah, it's an interesting scenario because so many things that we never thought would happen here have happened here. So many kids have wanted to come here to play. It's a completely flip. I want to talk to you a little bit about your trip to Houston last week.
Okay.
So you were there for the league meetings.
Yes.
Essentially blowing us off for league meetings. I get that.
You got to bring that up with the commissioner. We're okay.
There's a few things I'd bring up with the commissioner if he talked to me again. But some of the things that I think are interesting is you guys talked about league expansion at all? Was that a mention?
It's always brought up, right? I mean, and right now there's not an appetite for it.
Is there interest from other schools that want to come in?
I think people are. I mean, I think there's members of the WAC that are kind of put feelers out with. A couple.
Well,
of
their future's up in the air.
The commissioner just left. Again, looking back at the decision to not go was 100% the right decision for us.
Yeah, but you say that, but in essence, though, if you go, that whole flip script is done, and it's the Southland that's probably on the way out.
For sure. Yeah, I think that we were the deciding vote, if you will, but you think about it, when you go into the WAC, if there was no pathway to FBS football, because back then, again, Sam Houston and New Mexico State left, and you're playing FCS football, traveling all over the country, going to Utah, just didn't make any sense to me.
No, it didn't at that point in time.
Right.
The whole goal was that they had thought they had a path to get to as a league.
FBS. That's right.
Football, and that isn't. What are some of the other things of interest? Because one of the things I wanted to ask you was, there's been all this talk about scheduling. And you said last week that they were talking that they were going to go up to 22 league games.
We are. So in basketball, we voted and passed that we're going to go to 22 league games. So personally, I think that is right because you get a true champion. I think when you have 20, always someone's going to complain.
Someone's always got to.
Well, we didn't play this guy, or we didn't, or this team, et cetera. So you take all that out. Let's just play 22 games. And I think sitting on the men's basketball oversight committee for the NCAA, I think they're going to just do away with the exempt tournaments and just say you have 31 games. If you want to go to Hawaii or, the Virgin Islands, that's great. Or if you just want to play 31 games, that's great. So I think it still allows flexibility with the schedule if we go to 22, and that we are. So I'm excited about that. And then we talked about future football scheduling and, because Rio Grande Valley is coming into the league next year. So it's a lot to do. The one thing about it is like Chris is very organized. We're efficient. But I think the thing that Chris Grant has done is he's brought this league together. Like the room is very healthy.
I was going to ask you, are you still the least liked man in the room?
Oh, for sure. Let's not go too far. Yes, I'm sure I'm the least liked, but the room is healthy, right? Like it's, there's good camaraderie with the ADs. We're all, going in one direction. When I first started as an AD 4 years ago, you could cut the tension in the air with a knife.
Yeah.
It was so dysfunctional, and I think that Commissioner Grant's done a great job of that.
Well, that was that you had certain teams getting out, you had certain teams coming in. It was a strange scenario in that people were hiding what they were doing, their plans were, and everybody knew it was leaked out there. So those are all things that kind of, I guess the big thing would be had everything up in the air. So you guys were all jockeying for position at that point in time.
For sure.
So with all that going on, how excited are you for the first basketball game in here?
I'm really excited. I'm just excited for the season because, we're really good.
Yeah.
Now, we still got to play the games. It's why you play sports. But I love our talent. And, watching Coach Wade work as a former basketball coach is just, it's really, really, it's just exciting, and it's fun to see, like I said, to see the attention to detail, how he holds these people, his kids accountable.
Yeah.
But his communication skills are off the charts.
When we come back, Will Wade will talk to us about that and everything else in the upcoming season after this on Poke Nation.
Whether it's an injury case, a property case, or a business dispute, our lawyers are at the top of their game. Ask anyone who knows us. At Veron Bice, we don't enter popularity contests. The only ratings we care about are the verdicts we've obtained for our clients. Ask anyone who knows us.
Ever since I was young, I've known what I wanted to do. Sure, I had some guidance along the way. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But eventually, I had all I wanted. Family, career. It went by fast. Now I'm here. Retirement. And thanks to sound financial planning, it will be all I hoped for. And our children will have a secure legacy. For me, retirement is the next great chapter in my life.
Ferdinandson Financial Group. Let us help you make a plan.
Welcome to Nogales Mexican Cuisine and Bar, where every dish is crafted with fresh ingredients bursting with flavor. Make your date night unforgettable with our authentic Mexican dishes in a cozy and unique setting. Experience our warm and welcoming staff dedicated to ensuring your dining experience is nothing short of exceptional. Unwind at our bar with weekly drink specials perfect for any occasion. Nogales Mexican Cuisine and Bar, where great food, people, and drinks come together.
The Cowboys are going to do some really big things. Really big.
McNeese athletes bring big energy, big plays, and big spirit to every game. That's why Lakeside is proud to be such a huge fan. We're a hometown team too, in the business of backing big dreams across our community every day. And we always bank on big wins with McNeese Sports. Go big with Lakeside and McNeese.
New to Lake Charles, but not Louisiana, Mockler Beverage has been a leading Anheuser-Busch distributor for over 35 years. Known for an unwavering commitment to quality and service, we're excited to bring our excellence to Southwest Louisiana. Our exceptional portfolio of brands ensures we have the perfect beverage for every taste and occasion. Experience the Mockler difference, where every sip tells a story of excellence and satisfaction. Mockler Beverage, we serve Southwest Louisiana. For more information or to join the team, go to mocklerbeverage.com.
Will Wade's our guest. No heat sure to take up time, so we'll get right to good stuff instead of hearing about your lifestyle and all that or whatever he wants to talk to you about. So here we go. Biggest year in the history of the program as far as expectations go. Are you ready for that?
Well, I mean, look.
Nope, nothing's been anticipated like this around here forever.
We can't control all that, but look, what we can control is how well we play. And I mean, look, we've got way more people invested now, so it's going to hurt more when we lose. It's going to hurt more when things don't go, perfect. Last year was a little bit of a fairy tale, and everything just fell right into place. We're going to be a good team this year. We're going to be a very good team this year, and we're going to win a lot of games. But we're going to stub our toe a little bit too. I mean, our schedule is quite a bit tougher. The league's gotten quite a bit better. It's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be very, very challenging, and I think our guys are ready for the challenge. And I think on the other side of it, we'll be better. I really think hard now, easy later. If it's easy now, it's hard later. And so I think the non-conference schedule being very difficult. I mean, this game at South Dakota State, this will be one of our 5 or 6 hardest games of the year to open the season. And so we're going to get off. We're going to play some really, really difficult teams. North Texas at home, the tournament in the Virgin Islands. I mean, it's going to be a challenge as we get rolling here. And so I think everybody will like where we end up, but there could be some bumps in the road to get there.
Well, the goal is to end up in a regional in March again.
Correct.
Now, the big thing is you want to be
more prepared to win.
That's what the reason for the schedule is. You want to be more prepared for those moments when you see a Gonzaga or somebody like that, because you're going to go in as an 11, 12, 13 seed in all likelihood.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, hopefully we're not any worse than that, but we could maybe sneak into a 10 seed or something if everything goes perfectly. But yeah, you're going to be a double-digit seed.
Yeah.
You're going to be a double-digit seed. But look, we've got to focus on just getting better every day, moving forward. Our team the last month has really improved every day. We've made strides. We've gotten better. We've gotten healthy, which was just as big of an issue as making sure we got healthy. And so we did that, but we also got to understand, we've got some of our better guys who are just now getting back. Like, they're not in the full swing of things. What they're going to be when we play South Dakota State is not what they're going to be a month from now. Yeah. And so it's going to take some time to grow with this group and to build with this group. And that's the exciting part as a coach. I know fans want it immediately. Media members want it immediately, but there's going to be some growth with this group.
Well, you got a whole week before Alabama.
Huh?
You got a week before Alabama.
Did you not hear that South Dakota State's going to be one of our toughest games?
I'm saying, though, but you got all this time in the world to get ready for Alabama. So, no, I think it's the best thing I've seen for a schedule because of that. You're actually bringing a couple of good teams here, too, for fans. And I think the Santa Clara game's a huge game. There's a lot of games that will be kind of show you where you're progressing along the way.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of games that are going to be 50-50 games. We could win. If we played them 10 times, we win 5, they'd win 5. And it's a matter of who's going to execute better, that day, who's going to execute better in those critical moments, who's going to be able to, make the small plays, win the game within the game, as we like to call it. And so, we've got to get better there. We make some really good winning plays, and we make some bad losing plays right now. And so we got to knock the losing plays out. And really, really continue to build on the winning plays, continue to build on what we need to do winning-wise. So it'll be fun. It'll be a fun ride.
This is an encore seat. People want to see an encore. After 30-4, people want to see the encore.
There we go.
The encore's got to be better.
That's right.
So, okay, winning in March is your big thing, or being prepared to win in March is your big thing. What are we going to see in the first month and a half that you want to see? How much growth do you want to see? When do you want to have kind of a rotation set? When do you want to kind of see that getting together?
Yeah, we've got a rotation set now. I mean, I know the 9 guys we're going to play Monday. The 10th guy who's a swing guy that can play if we need. I mean, we've got a pretty good sense on all that, right now. And it's just a matter of getting continuity with those guys. We've got to have some continuity. We haven't had. Been one guy in, one guy out. Yeah. This guy gets hurt, so he's out 3 days. This guy gets hurt, he's out a month. This guy gets hurt, he's out. He's back, and then he hurts himself and is back out 2 weeks. And so it's going to take what you said, some time, just to get the continuity with our lineups, just to get the continuity with with what we're doing. And so I think that I don't know if it's going to take 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I think that we're going to get there because we've got really good people, we've got really good players, and they want to win.
And one thing you got this year is, even more so than last year, is depth. You can kind of have different lineups, different rotations, do different things. Are you going to tinker with that? How much are we going to see? Does that allow you to press more, do different things?
Yeah, we can do a lot of different things. We can play big, we can play small. One of our scrimmages, we played really big. One of our scrimmages, we played really small. So you can play a lot of different ways, and we can match up to teams a lot of different ways. We can take advantage of mismatches a lot of different ways, and so we've got some really good players, but we've got versatility within those good players, and I think that that'll bode well for us and serve us well as we move through the season.
And we're going to talk about those players when we come back on Poke Nation with Will Wade after this.
Whether it's an injury case, a property case, or a business dispute, our lawyers are at the top of their game. Ask anyone who knows us. At Veron Bice, we don't enter popularity contests. The only ratings we care about are the verdicts we've obtained for our clients. Ask anyone who knows us.
Ever since I was young, I've known what I wanted to do. Sure, I had some guidance along the way. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But eventually, I had all I wanted. Family, career. It went by fast. Now I'm here. Retirement. And thanks to sound financial planning, it will be all I hoped for. And our children will have a secure legacy. For me, retirement is the next great chapter in my life.
Ferdinandson Financial Group. Let us help you make a plan.
5 days from basketball season, Will Wade's our guest. Lots of expectations we talked about. Picked to win the conference easily. Got every vote he could except one. 5 of the top 20.
Is that your vote?
No, it would not be my vote. 5 of the top 10 guys on the team are from McNeese on the top 2 teams. Obviously, you have a target on your back you've never had before here. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, you got to run to the target. You can't run from it. So I've had a target on my back for a while, Jim.
Yeah, from a lot of different angles too.
So,
a lot of different angles.
Yeah, so I mean that's all part of it. I mean, look, it beats having to chase somebody down. Look, we are the odds-on favorite based on the preseason hype and preseason speculation. But we gotta make it come together on the court. We got to make it work on the court, and we got to play to our standards on the court. So at the end of the day, that's the most important part. And what anybody says or what anybody writes isn't going to win any games for us. So we got to make it happen.
DJ was our guest last week. Entertaining.
How was that?
Entertaining as always. He is the. I've got a lot.
Made for TV.
He is made for TV. Doesn't have a face for TV, but he's made for TV. He thinks he does.
They put you on TV.
That's true. That is very true. But he's one of the guys returning. You do have a core coming back. Everybody thinks, well, they hear about the portal, they hear about these guys coming in. But you do have a pretty good core coming back. You got DJ, who was the sixth man if they would have had one last year in the league. You got Javon Garcia, who was a tremendous stabilizer for you, probably the most underrated player in the league. You got Christian Shoemate, best defender. Omar Cooper, who started. You got a lot of pieces back.
Yeah, I mean, everybody gets excited about the new shiny toys and this guy and that guy, and you get this guy and this guy. But the whole key to having a stable program is to have continuity with who returns and who comes back. And like you said, we kept the main guys who played last season. Yeah. We kept those guys, and they provide some stability. They provide some know-how of what we're doing and some understanding of how we go about things day to day. And so I think that part's really underrated. Everybody gets excited about something new, but the old's really good as well. And you can't sustain a program if you're just going to grab a bunch of new guys out of the portal every year. Sometimes you strike gold like we did last year, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
And so it's a tough way to live. You've got to have some guys who grow through your program, who are stable and move through the program. And we've got that, and I think that's going to really, really help us this season.
So you got guys that have the core that understand you, or at least can understand you as best they can. You bring in a Brendan Murray who understands you from LSU. Is that a sense of comfort for you to know that there are guys the new guys can go to? Because you can do some shockwaves along the way.
You think?
A little bit. I've seen some video. There's some video of you out there.
Coming to film session today?
No, maybe because we have a press conference, so maybe I might. It's going to be entertaining.
No, we had some good stuff. We had some good stuff. We had some bad stuff. We'll get corrected. But we had some good stuff.
But getting a guy like Murray,
Murray helps tremendously. One, he's mature. He's seen it a bunch of different places. He's seen it at the high major level. He's seen it everywhere. And look, he chose to come back here and play for us.
Yeah.
A path from, scoring 14 at Georgetown to going to Ole Miss to McNeese is not a typical path.
No.
So he chose to come back and play for us. He chose to be with us. And, I think that one says a lot about him. But I think it also shows, how much he believes in what we do, how much he knows what we do works and helps, and that he's seen 2 or 3 other ways to do it, and he came back to what he originally knew. And so I think that his actions speak, louder than whatever words he can say, because he can back up that, hey, I'm not just telling you this, like, this is what I did.
And he can.
And he's a good player.
And he can go in and say, this works. I've seen it work.
Yeah, this works, and hey, look, here's what coach is trying to say. Maybe tune out the tone and his
tune out the tone. That's half the fun of it.
His method of delivery.
It's
and
not
a few of the adjectives.
It's not the tone or the adjectives that crack me up. To me, it's the subtle hits during those. It's the funny lines to get to the point. That's what cracks me up about it.
Good.
How's that for
We're
you?
there to entertain you.
That's all that matters. That's all that should. You're an entertainment, yes. Who are some of the other guys? Because you've talked about some of the guys that have surprised in that, but who's really stepped up? Because I've also seen Tijan do some good things in practice too, and he's stepped up. He's a guy that didn't play last year, but you've seen that. But who's really surprised you?
Tijan's been tremendous, and I actually met with him this weekend to talk to him because he's earned some minutes, and I want to make sure that, one, we recognize that he's earned those minutes, but two, I want to make sure we do right by him because we played him last year. We probably should have redshirted him last year and played him this year. We played him last year, and I told him, I said, hey, look, here's the minutes you've earned. I'm proud of you. But if this, I don't want you to waste another year. And so he's going to make a decision, this week on what he wants to do, because we got to, at the end of the day, we're going to do right by our kids.
Yeah.
And, I'd love to have him out there. He's been tremendous. He was the best player in one of our scrimmages. I mean, he's been awesome. But we've got to do right by him, so he'll make that decision. But Alan Breed's been really good, and Sincere Parker's back, and he can really score it. And Bryant's been.
Breed was good last year when he was here. He didn't play, but he was really good in practices.
He was really good. He was our most consistent all summer, and Bryant does a good job rebounding. Joe Charles does a lot of winning things, and so we've got some good versatility with those guys.
So is it true you've gone out and said only coaching can mess it up? I've heard you say that.
Hey, put it on me.
But one thing, before we go out, one thing I want to ask you this is, you made the big comment 23 plus 1. It got to 30. You've kind of toned back 30 plus 1. But where
I haven't said 30
no,
plus
you
1.
haven't. But where have you realistically see this team as far as where you want it to be
I think
at the end of the year? Not numbers wise.
I think we're a 25 win ball club, at least.
But the goal is to make the goal is to win the tournament.
Look, we're going to have some more bumps along the way. To win 3 bye games in 1 year is incredible. What we did last year, like you coach another 40 years and that never happened. And so, that's an outlier. But I mean, we expect to have a team that is capable of getting back to that big stage and competing at a higher level.
Well, Wade's been our guest. He goes everywhere. You can see him anywhere having lunch with somebody at some point in time, right? I hear you talking all the time. He'll probably have a hot dog for you. We'll be back with Heath and his final thoughts after this.
Whether it's an injury case, a property case, or a business dispute, our lawyers are at the top of their game. Ask anyone who knows us. At Veron Bice, we don't enter popularity contests. The only ratings we care about are the verdicts we've obtained for our clients. Ask anyone who knows us.
We're back. Well, Wade always makes it interesting. Also, you get an encore season with him that you probably didn't expect.
Yeah, I mean,
bonus year.
Well,
at least one more bonus year.
Yeah, at least. We'll see what happens. I mean, I think that coaches, he's really happy here. I think he's in a different place in his career. Now, obviously, I think we're going to have a lot of success, and he's going to have a lot of opportunities. But I do know that he knows that this is a good job, and this community and this university from the top down is really committed to him and his family. And but listen, he's not going to stay forever. And I've said this publicly, and I'll state it again. There's no question in my mind at some point, Coach Wade will win a national championship. I really do believe that. But he'll never have a bigger impact on a community than he's had on this one.
Probably not. One thing I didn't get to in the first group about your meeting in Houston that I wanted to get to was you got 12 games this year in football. As you look at the landscape, and now you're more in-depth into the national landscape, do you see a movement towards a 12th game in FCS every year?
We talked about that. I'm a huge proponent of it because I think, again, it just from gate receipts, gate revenue, having a chance to play a bye game, it just gives you more flexibility. I'm a huge proponent in it, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, it gives you a chance to play 2 bye games
Yeah.
if you need it. There's a lot you can play another FCS. There's a lot of
Absolutely.
different ways to go, especially for programs that are trying to build and trying to get money. All right, a couple of other things I want to get to for you.
Okay.
Obviously, a big week for football. A lot of talk about football, a lot of talk on social media about the football coaching position and that. I know you don't go to social media, but how much vested in this are you, and what do you want to see out of the last 3 games?
I mean, we need to win football games. I mean, we're funding this program at a level now that we've never funded it. And so, like anything else, you want return on the investment. I want us to be better. I want us to finish the season, as strong as possible. We have 3 winnable games. And, I think that we're definitely better than we were a year ago. The Nichols game was disheartening to me because, from a talent standpoint, pure talent, I think that we're really talented. We just have to figure out how to put it together and win football games and and have growth, right? Like, I mean, we can't be penalized as much as we're being penalized. There's some things that you want to see, and but listen, I mean, this community deserves a winner, and we've made great strides from last year, and hopefully, like I said, there's 3 winnable games on our schedule, and hopefully we go out there and take care of business.
They all can't be easy questions, Coach. You know that.
Oh, no, for sure. I get it.
They all can't be easy. It's a tough seat you're in.
Absolutely.
Okay, a couple of other things going. Who is the band this week?
Jamie Mytower.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the interest level? The problem that I've had with this schedule was you're a completely different football team in a different part of the league from where you were a month ago.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the interest like? Because it's been 3 weeks. Out of sight is out of mind.
I mean, we're going to find out, right? I mean, listen, I've voiced my displeasure with the schedule and how long we've been away, but it is what it is. And when you added Stephen F. Austin late, everyone had to make concessions, and we had to too. So, but look, I mean, it's still Saturday.
You're playing political.
It's still Saturday, and we still have.
I'm not that political.
Game. Oh, I know. But look, I mean, the block parties are a staple of Southwest Louisiana. I think we're going to have a great crowd, and hopefully we'll get a great crowd on Saturday.
Well, the interesting thing is you get homecoming back, which you got cheated out of last year, and that's a big deal because you have 2 years to mop up with you to make up
Absolutely.
for. The parade has already taken place, but you do have the other things with Halloween. A wild weekend. Expect some weird things.
And don't forget the hops and hoops and hops at Crying Eagle on Wednesday. For all the fans to come out, meet Coach Wade, the players, Coach Kennedy, all the teams will be out there. It's going to be a great night.
We'll see you next week on Polk Nation.